Hey YouTubers, it's Steve Robertson again, calling from Rescape. Had to think about that one. Today we are going to be talking about the topic and the word I will be using in the future, or two words. One is relaxation and the other is softness. Now, relaxation and softness related, similar to what I talked about in my previous video of tension and hardness. Not exactly the same correlation, but with tension and hardness, if you have tension in whatever spot or whatever manifestation and you have that tension a long time and you grow accustomed to it, well then it becomes a hardness. Now with relaxation and softness, if you are relaxed as a whole in whatever sphere you're working on, then you can say your net gain of relaxation in that part of you is how soft you become. Now that's the term I'm going to be using. I don't know if that's necessarily the correct term like maybe a Tai Chi master would use, but softness is pretty key for any kind of spiritual growth. If your as your body becomes softer, it will age less quickly. The energy in your body will flow more easily. You'll start becoming stronger and faster and just more healthy and more vigorous in general. And I'll get into some ways we can do that later on in future videos. Mental softness will translate to things like understanding and being able to like maybe walk into a room and understand what's going on like immediately, like just sort of getting the feel of the room. Intuitive abilities, psychics will have soft minds oftentimes. Spiritually, softness can be things like compassion and kindness and just ways to relate to other people where you see them on a level that you can see yourself, like you understand yourself in a certain way, and then when you meet somebody, even if they're a stranger, you can relate to them because they're human too. It's more of a reaching out kind of thing. With the mind too, like with understanding, you reach out like on an intellectual level, and then with the spiritual softness, you can understand more and more deeply how other people see things, and then how you relate to that person. The reason relaxation is important in order to become soft is because relaxation, you don't really relax. Relaxation isn't an action. It's sort of like when a bubble in the water floats to the surface of the water. Excuse me a second. Go, Gloe. Okay. Which is real? Is it the bubble, the air, the absence of the water floating to the surface, or is it the water around the bubble? And I think the answer is yes. And with relaxation, it then becomes, well, is the tension in your body or mind or spirit, is that the real? Hello. Is the tension the real thing, or is the relaxation in your body the real thing? And whenever you you could say like, well, tension plus relaxation equals neutral, but not really. If you have tension plus relaxation, um, you get to relaxation eventually. You can't have. There's really not a neutral ground. If there's not tension, then you have access to that point. It's not locked off. So then it's like, are you untensing something or are you relaxing something? And the answer is yes. And how relaxed can you become? How soft can you become? What I've been told and what I've found through personal experience is that you can always become softer. Tension has a limit, and the limit to tension or hardness is you will break, and that's not a good thing. But with softness, it's sort of like an infinite thing. I mean, with let's say you're 99% soft and you want to get to 100%. Well, now you're working to 99.5%, and then maybe if a Tai Chi master's at 99.996%, and he's trying to get to 99.997%, and you think as you go along, it's diminishing returns, but it's really not, because the qualities that softness draws across isn't the correlation of the softness, it's how much non-softness you have. So if you go from 99.5% soft to 99.75% soft, well, now you've just doubled, because you've taken what was left and you've cut it in half. So, and I could go more into the importance of softness and like what makes softness such a priority for anything else to do in any kind of self-improvement on any level. The problem is people just haven't been introduced to this idea in the way, or the general public hasn't been introduced to this idea in a way that hopefully I will introduce to you and people that I know could do that. And maybe there are people out there teaching this like me that just doesn't have a lot of not a lot of publicity, but But as this gets on to a future level, like softness in your body will translate to softness in your spirit and softness in your mind. They all correlate. If you have a hardness, like for example, my lower back and hips have been locked out hard for a long time, and I've just now finally starting getting those fluid and alive again. And and as I do that, my fascia tissue is activating all over my body, all up my back, and then in my stomach into my chest, and I'm becoming a lot more. My constitution's going up, and then spiritually, I'm becoming more creative. And like, well, how would creativity, spiritual softness, the spontaneity of the spirit, how does that translate to your physical hips being blocked? And there's a lot more going on here than I think most people realize. So that's a quick overview of softness and relaxation and how I'll be using it. And if you have any questions or ideas how this could go further, post them in the comments. And my name's Steve. This is Rescape Day 6. Thanks. Bye.